Welcome back to page 121. Today we're going to be doing a battle report from Champions, the super role-playing game. And it will be The Brick, as played by my son Adam and represented by Block from the Legion of Superheroes, versus Professor Henry Cataclysm, played by my oldest son Patrick, represented here by Dr. Doom. I'm going to show the character sheet in just a minute. The character sheets for both characters are identical, and they're very basic. Both are just what in Champions are called a brick. They're just super strong guys that hit hard. The idea behind this is I want to show the mechanics of the game, how the game plays, and how dice can influence the outcome rather than anything fancy yet. This is just an early bat rep to give everybody an idea of how the game plays. So in just a moment, we'll go to the character sheet, and then we'll start the bat rep. Here is the character sheet. This would be for the brick. Doesn't matter, they're both the same, but this one happens to be the brick. This will be played by my son, Adam, and I'm going to show the stats on the sheet right now. We have a strength of 70, a dexterity of 24, a con of 30, a body of 20, an intelligence of 15, an ego of 15, a presence of 20, a comeliness of 10, 35 physical defense, 35 energy defense, 5 speed, 20 recovery, 60 endurance, and 80 stun. These are standard bricks. At 70 strength, they're going to be throwing 14 dice each. Doing the math, 14 dice at an average of 3.5 a die. I'll be getting in something like 15 points of stun with each successful hit. Now, the dice will vary that. We go over their OCV, or let's go to their powers next, which is going to be the main one, reduced endurance. So their endurance is a 3. That takes endurance out of the question because they only act in 5 phases. 5 times 3 is 15, and they get a recovery of 20. So even with a push, they'd only be down 5 of their 60 endurance. I didn't want endurance to be a problem in this demonstration bat rep. I gave them damage resistance, so they're more like the Ben Grimm or the Hulk, 34 points each. Minus 5-inch knockback resistance, that's just to keep them from being tossed around the battlefield. Plus 6 inches of running on top of their base 6, they have a 12-inch move. And 2 levels overall. The way the overall levels work is they can be applied to anything, but they also work in combat. So the OCV of a 24 dexterity, you take the dexterity divided by 3. That becomes an offensive combat value of 8 and a defensive combat value of 8 with 2 levels. And the 2 levels work just like a Defender's Sword in basic D&D or an AD&D, Advanced Dungeons & Dragons. You can put 2 to offense, 2 to defense, or split 1 to attack, 1 to defense, however you choose. There's just a quick look at their stats. With a 5 speed, they'll act in phases 3, 5, 8, 10, and 12. And showing of all their stats. And then the perception numbers, which you calculate, but won't really pertain to today's game. So that's it. They're 2 very simple brick characters. No pun intended on the brick's name. In Champions, a character like this would be called a brick. This is 4th edition Champions. I tried to stay as true to 4th edition with our house rules rolled in. And in that case, there are no brick tricks. There are no slamming the ground and leaving a hole in the middle for an explosion, anything like that. This is strictly 4th edition, and they're going to pretty much play it straight up. It's more to show how the dice can play with the characters. That's why I made them identical, and we'll see how this one comes out. So now, the bat rep. Today in the streets of somewhere in the U.S. sometime, the brick is in a grudge match with Professor Henry Cataclysm. Yeah, I know, that's Block from the Legion of Superheroes, and that's Dr. Doom. Oh well, they're standing in. So today, we're going to do a bat rep of Champions. The brick will be played by my son Adam. Wave your hands, there you go. And Professor Henry Cataclysm, will be played by my son Patrick. There you go. Okay. We're going to, and they're fighting for reasons. This is a demonstration of how the characters would play. So their exact reason is, doesn't the brick owe Professor Cataclysm some money?
Sure, let's go.
Yeah, that sounds good. So he owes you $8. So you're going to do millions and millions of dollars of city destruction over $8. So here we go. Standard Champions rules. I've already explained the characters, so we're going to get started. Okay, for today's game, each character is going to start right on the edge of the table. And each character has a 12-inch move total, which means in Champions rules, they can move 6 inches and still be eligible to attack something. They also have a super leap, a vertical or a horizontal super leap of 14 inches. That would be the vertical leap. Horizontal, there you go. So you could leap 14 inches to get into combat that much faster. Okay, are we all set?
Yep.
Everybody all ready? The terrified citizens of the city are running for cover as this grudge match over a few dollars takes place, causing millions of dollars worth of infrastructure damage. Okay, I'm going to move this building out of the way because it's in the shot. Okay, so let's go ahead. We're going to call phase 1. Nobody goes in phase 1. So we'll go to phase 2. Nobody goes in phase 2. Phase 3. Because these characters are identical, I know that both go in phase 3. Now we count on highest dexterities. Highest dexterity, I'll start with 24. Oh, wait, they're both 24. Right?
Yep.
Okay, then we're going to go ahead and throw a 6-sider. Each man will throw a 6-sider within the camera. Right here. There we go. We got a 2 and a 1.
Start.
Professor Cataclysm goes first. All right, Prof, what's your move?
I'm just going to... I'm going to leap 14.
Okay, go ahead and get your tape.
Yeah.
We do use tape measures because we're not using any kind of battle grid. So the Prof is going to measure from front to front on his figure. That's very important.
There we go.
14-inch jump. All right, he is no longer eligible to attack in phase 3 because he did a full move. Over to you, Brick.
Ditto.
Ditto. Oh, they're anxious to get into punching each other in the face. All right, there they are. Now we go to the important initiative. This initiative is important because...
This is in segment what?
Well, I'm sorry. That was in segment 3 that everybody did a full move. Thank you. Segment 4, nobody acts. Segment 5, I think both you guys act on a 24 dex. I'm doing this, I did the same sheets simply because I felt it would be easier to show the game. I got to get the throw into the shot, guys. Okay, this time the Brick, Adam, won the roll. So Adam will make the first move. He can do up to a half move and then strike, or but also the professor can prepare himself to attack also. So what are you doing?
I'm going to put both levels to offense.
Both levels to offense.
And then I will leap because it's cool.
Okay. Doing a little flying punch into the old Prof. Okay, Prof Cataclysm, what are you doing?
Everything to offense.
Okay, everything to offense. We got blood in our eyes here. So
He owes me $8. I'm not paying you $8.
You're offense and he's offense, correct?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so with an OCV, a dexterity of 24 generates an OCV of 8. And 8 plus 2 is 10. You add the formula number of 11 because champions. That's a 21 minus a DCV of 8. Each of you guys is going to hit on a 13 or less on 3 dice 6. Please roll it in the camera shot.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's a big
5.
hit. Had that been 3 1s, he would have gotten damage plus 50%, because that's how we do it. Because he's leaping forward and the professor is ready for it, I'm going to say Professor Henry Cataclysm can swing simultaneously. This is the old famous, we hit each other at the exact same moment because it looks good on camera.
Cool.
Okay? Prof Cataclysm.
On a 12.
On a 12. Needed a 13, he's good too. Now, each is going to roll their 14 dice damage for their 70 strengths. I will go with the man who won initiative, which is going to be the Brick. And there we go.
Pretty good.
There's the roll. Snug them up a little bit so they stay in the shot.
Yeah, sorry, I'm just separating them.
Yep. Okay.
30.
Each man tallies his own stuff, but I'm going to help with the
10,
knockback.
35, so this is just going to stun. 10, 17.
17 points off of Professor Henry Cataclysm's stun. That also, in our house rule, you have to have 11 or more stun out of an attack to be eligible to generate knockback. So he will be able to generate knockback. So, Professor, please take 17 off of your stun.
Okay.
Now, don't move your dice yet. We're going to count up the body, and we're going to do it together. Okay. For body, 1s equal nothing. That was tight. Yeah. Okay. 1s equal nothing. Anything 2, 3, 4, 5 equals 1. 6 is equal 2. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16 inches of knockback. On 14 dice, by the way, that's really good. Knockback averages 1 per dice. Now, I happen to know because I designed him, Professor Cataclysm has -5 knockback resistance. So he is going to take 5 off of that 16, leaving us a net of 11. Per the games, the brick, Adam, is going to throw 2 die 6. And we're going to subtract that from the 11 that we know we have,
3.
which is 3. Professor Cataclysm is going for an 8-inch ride. So we'll do that in just a moment. Professor Cataclysm, let's see your damage. Oh my goodness, that's what we like to call a champion's roll. Okay, pull out 35, please.
10.
Easiest way is to do clusters of 5, or clusters of 10, rather.
35.
Okay.
And now you're going to take 5, 10. Sorry. 21.
21 stun to the brick. Neither man is close to his constitution of 30, so there's no need to check to see if they're stunned. Let's do the knockback. There's only one 1 in here, which is pretty good. We'll put the 6s together to make it easier to count up.
Hey, we both got 3 6s.
Yeah, you did.
Huh.
And we
2,
both got
4,
1
6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. That is freaky.
Wow.
Okay, we take away 5 for the bricks, 5 inches lack of knockback. So it's an 11. Throw 2 die 6, and we're going to subtract that from the 11. And that's 8. The brick goes 3 inches. So please move the brick back 3.
That's so weird. I rolled a 3, he's going 8. He rolled an 8, I'm going 3.
Oh, that's cool. All right, so the brick will go back 8 inches, or 3 inches. Professor Cataclysm will go back 8. That leaves 11 inches between them, which means there's going to be a problem for whoever actually wins this initiative. One of the strange things of champions is if you win the initiative, you tend to kind of suffer a bit of a penalty. So that was in phase 5. We go to phase 6. Nobody. Phase 7. Nobody. Phase 8. Both of you guys, throw a 6-sider. You kind of don't want to win this one. Oh, there you go. The brick wins. Professor Cataclysm with his famous low ball roll. And, okay, Brick, you've got to make the first move. We know he's 11 inches from you,
11
which means you've got to do a greater than half move, which means you cannot attack if you move toward him this round.
Right. I'm gonna.
But if you stay 8 inches away from him, he can't attack you as he moves toward you.
Yeah, I'm moving up 3. I'm staying 8
Okay,
away.
he stays 8 away. Professor? Professor's moving 4. All right, just keeping things difficult. Okay, so there are.
Man, I want to give him a free hit.
Yeah, so you're within striking range of each other this next turn. So that's it for phase 8. Wasn't that exciting? You're going to notice that we haven't been tracking endurance. That's because when I designed the characters, as I mentioned, I reduced the endurance, and I've got it in such a way that endurance won't even be a factor in this game. I did that on purpose because we're just doing instructional now on how to run the game. I don't want to get bogged down with the endurance situation. So now that's it for phase 8. We go to 9. Nobody. 10. Uh-oh, dicing off for initiative. Much less important this time.
3.
A 3 and a 5. Professor Cataclysm winning when he needs to.
We've been alternating too.
Yes, you have. Feel free to talk up, guys.
Weird dice things happening.
Professor Cataclysm is going to go up with his patented checkbook punch.
The debtor's fist.
I want that $8.
All right.
Actually,
So-
you'd be the creditor. I'd be the debtor.
So, to get his 8, he's about to give him 5. And there's the punch. Oh, our number again this time. Where are your levels? Offense or defense?
Oh, all offense.
All offense.
Okay, so we know our numbers are 13. Professor Cataclysm swung a little wide on that. He's probably thinking he was going to collect a little interest on his debt and missed. Okay, advantage Brick. If Brick doesn't blow this, then he could be in pretty good shape. Oh! Very, very close to Cataclysmic. No pun intended. Okay, Professor Cataclysm has been punched. He is going to now take 14 dice of damage.
Why am I counting this? I counted out
I have no
14
idea.
already. That's the Warhammer player in me.
Okay, there are his. Oh my God.
Oh,
Okay, it's bad when you can do 35 and 6s.
That's a lot of 6s.
Yeah, so that's 4 6s, so that's 24 and just 6s.
Oh my goodness.
20, 35.
Okay.
And then...
Prof's going for a little ride, I'm
10,
thinking.
15 only.
15, only 15 stun throw on the Prof.
A lot of
please
sixes,
take
though.
your... And let's count up the body. All right, you know how to do it, Adam?
Yeah, so these come out.
They count for nothing.
And then we got the 4 6s here, so that's 8.
The 6s count as 2 each.
Yeah. So 10, 12, 14, 16 again.
16 again. This
Wow.
is freaky because usually knockback equals the number of dice thrown. Okay, Professor Pat, if you would throw... oh, no, he throws it. He has 5-inch lack of knockback from 16, which brings it to an 11.
So 11 minus...
11 minus
sorry.
a
7.
5 and a 2, which is 7. He goes for a 4-inch ride. Now, there's actually one thing I did wrong last time that we'll fix now. By definition, without acrobatics, neither of these guys has it, the professor lands on his butt.
He went for a 4-inch ride.
I know that.
That's why I moved it 4.
Oh, I thought you measured out 5.
Nope.
No. He went for a 4-inch ride. We counted out 4. But, as I was explaining, I made an error last time. You should have both been on your butts, which is a half-move action to stand back up. So, Professor, we're just for the moment going to lay your figure down to remind us that there is a half-phase action you need to spend. So you can half-phase and attack or half-phase and move. That's all you can do this turn. Again, I realize this is a pretty static fight, but this is just to show how the game goes. Okay, that was it for phase 10. 11, 12. 12, we're going to throw for initiative again. We're going to do it near each other so the camera picks it up. There we go. Professor Cataclysm. His half-action move is to stand. If he moves at all now, he can't attack this turn. If he waits for the ever-eager Brick to come in, he can punch him in the face.
It'll come to me.
All right, where are your levels again?
Everything to offense.
All right, Brick, offense. Okay, Brick, what are you doing?
Well, I think I gotta go for the debtor's fist.
Okay. Oh, he's going for the dead beat's fist. He's the one trying not to pay back the $8, and we're having none of that, are we, Professor Cataclysm? Okay, Professor, you won the initiative. You throw your dice first.
I owe you nothing.
Your numbers are 13. See, this is nice and simple when you don't have to calculate anything. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, man.
That was almost
16.
catastrophic. 3 6s in our game is an automatic miss with some kind of bad thing happening. So the Prof is whiffed twice. Over to the Brick.
That's a whiff.
That's a 14. That's a double whiff on phase 12. Well, that was as interesting as nothing. Phase 13. In our game, we call that the mythical 13th. There is no such thing in the rulebook. Don't look it up. It's the recovery phase. We call it phase 13 or the mythical 13th. In the mythical 13th, you take your recovery, the REC number, toward the bottom of your statistics, which on these guys is 20, and you take that back to your stun. So I believe the Brick is back to full.
I'm down 1.
Brick is down 1. Prof, you're down 12.
12.
Okay, that's it. That's the end of that first round. Now, per our house rules, at this moment, you may push, which is to increase your damage by 1 or 2 dice at the cost of 10 endurance. Again, both characters are designed that won't be a problem. Or you can do a haymaker, which costs you an extra half phase, but can be really funny because it's worth damage and a half. And yes, we have seen 3 1s thrown on a haymaker, which is damage and a half, and then half again.
Okay, I wasn't sure if it was double damage.
Nope. And so right now we're going to start phase 1, which is nobody. Phase 2, nobody. Phase 3, both you guys. I need a throw for initiative. And it is tied at 4. Prof does not want to give up that money. He threw a 6 that time to a 4. So 6 to a 4. It gets a little confusing leaving the dice in. So 6 to a 4. Okay, Prof, you go first, and you're standing right there. If you decide to throw a haymaker, it would start in 3, but it would not land until 4. In the meantime, if he punches you and moves you back, you lose the haymaker.
I'm not fancy. I just want the money.
Not fancy, want the money. Are you going to do any type of push for 10 endurance? You're going to do it once for this set of 12.
Yeah, I'll do it.
All right, he's going to push his punch, which costs him an extra 10 endurance. So this total punch is going to cost him 13 endurance. Again, the way these characters are designed, it's not important. We only allow 1 push per set of 12. All right, Prof, going for broke. Here we go. Yeah, there we go. Prof's back in the swing. Okay, go ahead and do your damage. Now, this, because you threw with push, you get 2 more dice on this. So you're going to throw a total of 16 dice this time. Okay. Pulling out 2 more dice out of the cube. He wants that $8.
Oh, give me $6.
Here we go. This should be cataclysmic.
Ouch.
Decent roll.
Yeah,
A couple
bad.
ones
I saw
lurking
the
in there.
sixes.
Yeah.
There's 20. There's 30.
35 out. The rest of this is sweet, sweet damage.
All right. 5, 10, 15, 21.
21 stun.
Exactly what I did last time.
Yeah.
And now let's count the body. So the body is nothing for the ones. 2 for the sixes. So that's 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. All right, 17 minus the 5 lack of knockback is 12, minus this throw, which is 5. That knocks the brick back 7 inches. That also takes the brick out of attack range. He lands on his butt. For his half phase action, for his actions, because they were toe-to-toe when it started, he went second. He got punched, knocked back 7 inches, landed on his keister. He's now going to stand up. That's a half move. The best you can do now is move back into fist range. Or actually within 1 inch of it. Or you can stay put. Or you
I'm
can
not
rip
giving
up.
you $8.
You got to stay, or you're going right up. Okay. So he's going over a 6-inch move, which in this game counts as a full move. Okay. The other thing he could have done with that one is he could have tried to do a move through, which is a full move at 12 inches and takes an extra half phase, but since he's already going second in this phase, would land in 4, and Professor could just stand there and see it coming. Would you want to do that?
Yeah.
All right, he's going to do a move through because I've talked him into it. Okay, now a move through is calculated by taking your velocity. Move through is velocity. It's a half phase action. Your velocity divided by 5. So you run 12 inches.
I leapt 7.
Well, you can run. It's better if you run.
I can't make it if I run.
Yes, you can. A move through, you can do a full move, which is 12 inches.
Even with my half move?
Oh, that's right. You had to leap. You're right. Okay, so your movement is 7. So you're going to be minus 2 on this. That's velocity divided by 5. So you're going to be only minus... Well, no, you're doing a 14. You can't do it. Yeah, you're minus 1. So you're minus 1 to hit on this. But you'll be DCV of minus 3 next round. So go ahead and roll. So you're minus 1. You needed a 13 because you have an 8 OCV. Plus 2 levels is a 10. Plus the 11 formula number is 21 minus 8 DCV. So right now we need a 13 minus 1 more for the move through. You need a 12.
Nope. That's 15.
Okay. This becomes kind of just a, whoops, move by. He'll actually land here on his face, and he'll have to spend half of his segment getting up. Okay, no real damage for that. There is some damage involved in that. It would be a 7-inch fall, but with these guys' defenses, it's not a big deal. Okay, Professor Cataclysm turns around and cracks his knuckles. Loud metallic ringing there because he's got them shot in iron. And we go to phase 4. We were in phase 4. That was when the move through finished. Phase 5. Okay, here's the disadvantage of doing a move through. Your DCV is now minus 3. You can put your levels to defense if you want as we're starting a new phase. Levels can be moved for free by any speed at any time in a phase of activity at the beginning of the phase.
Yeah, I'll put him to defense.
Okay.
I'm putting everything in mine to offense.
Okay, so the prof is going to stay with offense, which is going to be plus 2. So it's 8 plus 2 is 10, plus the 11 formula number is 21, minus, this gets a little complicated now, 8 for his normal DCV, plus 2 for his levels to defense, which is a 10, minus 3 total because of the move through. So he has a 7 DCV versus a 21 OCV, or 21 OCV minus 7 is 14. Prof, you need a 14 or less to hit him.
Wait, we need to dice.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. You got a dice off. My bad. Thanks for keeping me honest. Okay.
Jeez.
Oh, Prof won. Okay, here we go. He hasn't even stood up yet. He's going to get punched in the butt.
14 on the button.
14 on the button. Just what he needed. Thankfully, those minuses worked in his favor. Here comes the punch. You can't push this time, so it's back to 14 dice. I think it was 16 to
12.
Okay.
No,
14.
14. Yeah, I
Okay.
took the extra 2 out.
Okay. And there we go.
Very good
Pretty,
that time.
pretty average looking roll there.
10, 15, 20, 25, 35,
Okay.
6, 7, 10.
So 10. 10 stun in our game is not enough to calculate knockback. You have to do 11 or greater. So the brick is lucky. He gets to stay where he is. For his part, he now has to stand.
Yay.
And he can do the whole coming up from the ground with the fist at Professor Cataclysm. So his numbers are 8 plus 11 is 19 minus 8. He needs an 11 or less.
Jeez. Not today. Oh, 11 exactly.
11 on the button. Okay, that's a nice little shot to Professor Cataclysm's chops. This is 14 dice. Alrighty.
Respectable. 10, 20, 35,
Okay.
and then 10, 15, 23.
23. Professor takes 23 stun out of his total. How much do you have then, Prof?
Yeah, give me 1 second.
This is out of 80.
45 left.
Prof has 45 left. Where do you stand, Brick?
48.
48. So it's pretty close so far. And now we're going to calculate the knockback because the Prof is probably going for a ride.
All right. 2, 4, 6. And then
Move your hand so I can see the dice.
8, 10, 12, 14, 16 again.
16 again. Minus 5 for his lack of knockback becomes an 11. Again, we're all used to these numbers. Minus 2 dice 6. Go ahead and throw 2 dice 6.
That's right. 4.
Minus 4. 11 minus 4 is 7 inches. The Professor goes for a 7-inch ride this way. And he lands on his keister. Alrighty. That's where things stand. And that was in phase 5. Now we go to phase 6. Nobody. Phase 7. Nobody. Phase 8. Both of you guys. Go ahead and throw your initiative. Throw them where I can see them both. There we go. Oh, the Prof won big this time.
This is 3 ones in a row.
But the Prof's got to stand up. That's his half move. He could scoop a chunk of concrete and throw it at the brick if you wanted.
Yeah, let him come to me.
And let him come to you. All right, Brick, what are you going to do? You're 7 inches away, I believe.
7 away. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, 7 inches away, so you could leap again.
I'll leap again.
Without doing, well, no. Oh, 7 would just get you there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could do half move leap and then punch.
Yeah, I'll punch. And you know what? I'll push this. Paying back the
Okay.
pusher.
So this is a push, which costs you an extra 10 endurance for an extra 2 dice.
Both levels to offense, by the way.
Both levels to offense. Prof?
Put mine both to defense.
Both to
this time.
defense this time. So we've got 2 levels to offense. You did a half move. I think I might have been forgetting about a half move rule. Let me check here. No mod. Okay. So
My number's 11 again.
your number is, we're going to calculate it for the folks at home.
Okay.
We're going to calculate it. It's going to be OCV of 8 plus 2 to offense, which is 10, plus 11 is 21, minus a DCV of, where are your levels?
To defense.
To defense of DCV of 10, so it's 11 or less.
Yep, on a 6.
Yep. I knew you knew it. I was just being nice for the viewers.
Well, it was +2, -2.
I know. And it was base number.
Yeah. So I'm pushing this. How many more dice do I get?
2 dice.
2.
So it's a total of 16 dice being thrown. Professor Cataclysm. That's sweet, sweet chin music. There's the throw.
Not a ton of 6s.
No, but a pretty
1,
fat
6.
roll anyway.
Yeah.
Let's calculate it up.
10.
Oh, Prof, for your part, you did a half move to stand, and Brick did a half move to come to you, so you get to throw at the same time. So before we do your knockback, you're going to actually get to strike.
Okay. 5, 10, 15, 17.
17 is going to be your total knockback, Professor, so please take that off your total. And then we're going to figure out the knockback.
2, get these ones out of here. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 12, 14 this time.
14.
Oh, wow, average.
Yeah, average out of, but you had 2 extra dice. You actually swung
Oh,
below
yeah,
average.
below average.
Okay, 14 minus 5, because he has 5 inches left. Knockback is a 9. Please throw 2 dice 6 to show us how far the Professor goes this time. Nowhere.
Nowhere.
Professor doesn't go anywhere. A 10 is greater than 9. He stays in place. Professor, you're swinging at the same time. Simultaneity is so much fun in comic books. Here we go. Here's your roll. Your number is an 11. Whoa,
No, not even
Professor.
close.
He's a big hitter. He's always swinging for the fences, that Professor. Okay, that's it. And that was in phase 8. Phase 9. No one. Phase 10. Both you guys standing toe-to-toe with no half actions to go.
I didn't roll a 1
Okay.
this time.
This time, if the brick sends the Professor flying, the Professor won't be able to swing back.
Both levels to offense. Do we declare that
Offense.
at the beginning of the segment?
Declared every time at the beginning of the segment.
Gotcha.
Both the offense.
Both to offense. We're back to offense, which gives our number as a sweet, sweet 13. 8 plus 2 is 10, plus the formula number of 11. 21 minus 8 is 13.
I don't think you've got the guts to do more than 28 damage.
You'd be right.
Yo, that's a big whiff.
15.
All right, Prof. Yeah, it looks like your taunt paid off. Okay, Prof, we know that you need a 13 or less. Can you do it?
Yes.
Yes, okay. The Prof connected this time. Again, some more of that sweet, sweet chin music we all love. Okay, play him a melody. The count of 5. All right. We're going to tally this up. There's a lot of ones sitting in there and 1 6. That's bad.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25.
Ooh.
Uh-oh.
This was a rough roll.
30, 35.
Uh-oh.
9.
Total of 9 stun gets through. We know that's not enough to calculate knockback already, so we're not going to bother. Leaving the end of phase 10. Professor, your stun remaining is?
28.
28. And Brick?
39.
39. So it's still a pretty even match. Makes perfect sense because they're exactly evenly matched. Okay, we're going over to phase 11. Nobody. Phase 12. Here we go into phase 12. All right, gentlemen, I need the initiative roll, please.
Both levels offense.
Both offense.
All right, they're going for broke here. Okay, again, the Brick won this time if he actually manages to connect. He rolling a 3 with the Professor rolling a 2. If the Brick connects and sends him flying, the Prof will have to lose half a phase standing up and then moving back. So here we go. Come on,
don't
Brick.
have the
Number is a
guts.
13. Everything stayed the same.
13.
13 on the button. Hit him right on the bridge of the nose. Just it hurts just right between the eyes.
You call that a punch?
12, 14. Okay.
All right, here we go. All right. Not a fabulous roll, but not bad. Okay, pretty average looking roll there. In fact, I know the body is 14.
30. No. It's going to be 1 less than.
Oh, yeah, 13.
10, 20, 35. 10, 14.
14 inches for the Professor, or 14 stun, rather. We're going to calculate the knockback on that after we count the body.
So those go away.
Right?
2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13.
13. Okay, 13 minus 5 is 8. You're going to throw 2 dice.
Sorry.
That's a 6. That's him and his butt 2 inches away. It's still a problem for the Professor, though, because the Professor has to blow a half-phase action to stand back up. By the way, I realize that there are many powers and even some house rules that allow a character a chance to stay on their feet after they've been punched. We're not playing this since these two are just essentially bricks. I'm going to make it an auto fall anytime that there's knockback.
Yeah, we're not Spider-Man.
Right. So, Prof, you can take your half-phase action and stand up, but then the only thing you could do would be a move through or a move by.
You could also lob some concrete at me.
I'll
Or
do a
you throw
move
concrete.
through. I haven't done that yet.
Jumps to his feet and leaps for a move through. Okay, this move through will actually land in one of next round. So in mid-flight, we go to Mythical 13th. I love when this happens. So in our Mythical 13th, as we call it, the recovery phase is called in the rules. Don't look for Mythical 13th. You won't find it. That's my term. Everybody takes back 1 recovery, which is 20 points per, leaving the Professor at how many stun?
34.
34 stun of 80, and leaving the Brick at
59.
59 of 80. Okay, now, Professor Cataclysm, are you doing your leap? You can do a half move on your
Yeah.
leap. It's -1 to hit, as we know, and levels are to,
Offense.
you said that at the beginning of phase 12.
Yep.
Now we're in phase 1 of the new round, but it carries over. So, we know that your levels, you're an 8 to hit base, plus 11 is 21, plus 2 levels is 23, minus velocity divided by 5, but velocity is only a 7, so it's only a -1. You need a 12 to hit the brick.
All right, here we go.
Yes.
Bingo, got it. Now, the sweet, sweet part of this is it's worth damage and a half. So, Professor, the way we do damage and a half in this case, let's see, move through. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Move through is strength plus velocity divided by 3. You get 2 extra dice on this. I was quoting a haymaker. So the 2 extra dice on this brings you up to 16 dice. You take half this damage because you're essentially ramming him with your head or your shoulder or whatever it is.
Worth it.
So move throughs are great. I love move
It's
throughs.
funny.
They're one of my favorite moves. All right, so the prof is going to throw his 16 dice, and then he's going to leave the dice. There is no knockback in this per se because they end up in the same hex behind afterwards. So just tally it up and take out 35.
10, 15,
Okay.
20, 25, 35.
35 leaving.
Let's see. 7, 14, 18.
18 stun. Professor, you would then, so 35 plus 18 is 43. We cut that in half. It becomes 22. Champions, you always round down. 22 applied against your physical defense with 35 does not get through. Therefore, the professor suffers no damage for having done this attack. Both guys end up in a lover's embrace in the adjacent hex, or 1 inch away. That's it for phase 1 of our third round of combat. Coming up on phase 2, no one. Phase 3. 3 are 2 antagonists lying in each other's arms. Is it a moment of peace? No, they just fell down. We're going to roll initiative now. Okay, the brick who is on the bottom gets first swing.
Okay.
Some would say this would be an interesting time to do a push. If you do a haymaker, the only problem with that is it won't land until 4. The good news is you can't go anywhere on knockback because his punch is going to come straight down unless you stand up.
And I'm putting everything to offense.
And
so.
he's throwing.
I'm putting everything
All
on
right,
offense.
offense.
I think I'm gonna ready up a haymaker.
Are you going to do a haymaker? Professor, are you going to do a haymaker? They'll land simultaneously.
Yeah,
I
let's do
thought
it.
we'd have some fun. All right, so haymaker and champions. I'm going to show the sheet to go over the haymaker rules. So a haymaker is right there. That's where you crank the fist all the way from out in the suburbs and you bring it into the city. So a haymaker is a half-phase move, not a problem for either of these gentlemen. It's -2 OCV and -2 DCV. We count the OCV in this round of combat, but the -2 DCV, actually that lands in this round as well. So your levels are going to offset. Because you're stationary, you're kind of set, and the target's easier to be hit. If this pays off, you get a damage plus another half. In our game, rather than add up the dice and then add a half on top of that, in this case, you will throw half again as many dice. So throwing 14 dice, you will add 7 dice. A haymaker, the way we play it, would be worth 21 dice. So here we go. First haymaker. Professor, you won the initiative. These haymakers...
No, I did not.
I'm sorry. Brick, you won the initiative. These haymakers started in 3. They'll both land in 4. This is that epic moment in the comic books where the thing's punching straight up and the Hulk's punching straight down. Okay, so this will be simultaneous, but for ease of watching, go ahead, Brick, throw your to hit. Oh, let's calculate your number. I forgot. It's -1. Both levels to off, or -2. For haymaker.
Haymaker.
-1.
-1.
So it's 8 plus 2 levels is 10 plus 11 formula number is 21.
Wait, haymaker is 0. Grab is -1. For OCV, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Haymaker is 0.
Haymaker is 0. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. And it's a -5 DCV. I'm sorry, I read that line wrong. Problem with holding the camera. Okay, so it's a -5 DCV. Actually, we'll let the -5 land in. It'll play in next round. We do that sometimes depending on the circumstances and the combat. It makes more sense for the -5 to apply next round. I want this sucker to land. I want to see what happens. Okay, we know that that's an 11. You need the 13 or less to hit a normal hit. And Professor, you'll need a 13 as well. Knockback will not apply when the Professor hits the brick because the brick can only go down. But the brick will take those dice of damage automatically. The Professor just goes flying.
That's awesome.
Yes. So here we go. He's going to throw us now 21 dice. That's 14 dice plus half again damage. In our game, we throw 7 more dice. We don't just up the damage. The rules say up the damage. This is another house rule.
14.
We just find it more dynamic this way.
17, 21.
21 dice. This should average 21 knockback, by the way. Oh, yeah.
Good roll.
Taking out 35, Prof. Okay. Got to keep the chatter up, otherwise it goes to dead air, and we can't have that.
All right, so 10.
Oh, this is going to tingle.
20. 30.
30.
5.
35.
39.
39. Now, the professor has a constitution of 30. He will be stunned after this, which means he'll be counting birdies, like when Bugs Bunny gets hit in the head. And let's calculate the knockback now. The knockback is 2 for each 6-sider,
So
1 for 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1s equal nothing.
the ones come out.
Got 4 1s.
6, 10, 12,
Okay.
14, 16, 18, 22.
22 knockback for the professor, minus 5 for his lack of knockback, which brings us down to 17. Throwing 2 dice. Let's see how far the prof is going to go. 17 minus 9. The prof is only going to go 8 inches, which is good. Prof will be moving 8 inches. We'll get to that in a moment. Go ahead and punch the brick. We know your number is 13. 8 plus 2 is 10, plus 11 is 21, minus 8 is a 13. Please don't whiff.
Nope.
No.
Oh, dear. Total whiff. Okay.
I had a feeling.
Please, he's stunned for a round. So he'll be stunned right now, which means he gets nothing.
What damage did I take with that?
You took 39.
39.
I'm out.
Oh, he's stunned and unconscious, folks. That writes fini to our battle. The brick stands up, stands over him, and says, I'm not paying you your $8. Fight me again if we want it.
Keep the change.
What's your tagline?
Keep the change.
Keep the change. And what's your tagline? Oh.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, so there you have it. The Brick versus Professor Henry Cataclysm. Interesting thing was those were identical characters played by experienced players in a not real dynamic environment. It was designed kind of to be static. I wanted to show the way the game plays and how the outcome can very often be driven by the dice. I would agree with that, wouldn't you, Professor?
Oh, yeah.
I think you missed 4 times,
Yeah.
and you missed once.
I missed
Twice. So in this game, if you miss 4 times, your opponent misses twice, and you're even otherwise, you're not going to come out on top.
Yeah.
You
So-
also have bad damage rolls.
Yes.
Yeah.
So there you have it. That was a quick example, bat rep of champions. If you're interested, please let me know. I'd be happy to do more of these, and I'll do them with more dynamic characters. We have a Spider-Man knockoff who's incredibly dangerous on the table, but I usually put him against a martial artist. That's a lot of swinging at each other without hitting. So that's it for today from page 121. Thank you for tuning in. If you like what you saw, please like and subscribe. Tell your friends, and I'll see you next time. All right, let's say goodbye. Bye, Brick.
Bye.
Bye, Prof.
See you later.
Oh, there we go. The thumbs up.
I'll
Okay,
be
the patented Professor Calamity thumbs up. All right. Thanks for watching.